My name is Hasina binti Anwar Hassan. My metric number is AP180459. Today, me and my teammates are going to talk about the aborted Kuala Lumpur to Singapore high-speed rail project impacts our country's economy. Next slide. Introduction. The idea of KL to Singapore HSR was initiated through Economic Transformation Program. The purpose of this project is to transform Malaysia into a high-income nation. The KL to Singapore high-speed rail is an alternative travel mode between two of Southeast Asia's most vibrant and fast-growing economic engines. Next, the cost of this project was estimated at approximately RM60 billion ringgit. This project includes 7 stations in Malaysia, which are Bandar Malaysia, Sepang Putrajaya, Seremban, Melaka, Muar, Batu Pahat, and Iskandar Puteri before reaching its last destination in Jurong East, Singapore. This connectivity will enable businesses to be more productive and access a broader marketplaces. In addition to that, public will also enjoy an improved travel experience of shorter travel time and a comfortable ride throughout their journey. The project has other advantages besides transportation, which is a process that concerns more towards the socio-economical development. This will ultimately change how people live, work, and travel entirely. Next slide. This is the timeline for the high-speed rail project. In 2010, announcement of 350-kilometer project Kuala Lumpur to Singapore high-speed rail has been made. The following year, on 2016, Malaysia and Singapore signed an agreement. In 2018, Dr. Mahathir has postponed the project due to the high compensation payment for scrapping it. In the later year, 2020, the current Prime Minister of Malaysia has decided to terminate the project due to the expenses needed to combat the COVID-19. By doing so, the country will go ahead with several mega projects that do not need extra funding, including the high-speed rail project to boost Malaysia's economical after the pandemic apps. In the current year, which is in 2021, both countries officially announced termination of the HSR project. This results in Malaysia, which is obliged to pay RM300 million ringgit in compensation for losing Singapore, including their consulting fee and also workforce expenses. That's all from me. Moving on to the next presenter.
Hi, my name is Chi Wei, and now I would like to talk about the potential benefits of KL Singapore high-speed rail. The HSR can save in the time traveling, and the people can go to their destination in a faster way. According to the My HSR Corporation, the HSR will be shortened to 19 minutes in the time traveling from KL to Singapore. And HSR also generate the huge development potential when all the stations will be supplemented by the local public transportation system. The HSR railway line will start from Bandar Malaysia station in Kuala Lumpur and end in Jurong East, Singapore. And it is encourage the resident and business in connection of two countries, which is lead to continuous growth of talent and jobs creating for these regions. The HSR also bring a positive impact to economy. It is provide the opportunities to cooperate in economic activities between both countries and attract the large number of customers. And the HSR also contribute 55% of its GDP in 2016 and 46% of total employment in Malaysia. Therefore, it is bring more investors in the investment of property and industrial sector. Besides, it also reduces the greenhouse gas emission, such as the carbon dioxide. The HSR operates by using the electric power, and it reduces the greenhouse gas emission from vehicles such as cars and buses. It is saved about 55 million kg of carbon dioxide as the annual ridership is figured out in 2013 is 15.2 million, and it is allowed the transportation energy to be more efficiency and environmental friendly. Next.
Next, I will present the pros and cons of cancelling project. So my name is Jen Hui San. My metric number is AP180494. So the first, from KL to Singapore is costly. The train, it costs around 3 times compared with the bus. And next is the building cost high compared to normal rail. And it also high maintenance cost, then occupation and environment damage due to the desire to avoid curved track, reduce the accident. Next is about con. So when cancel the HSR project, it comes with inconvenience. HSR project especially impact for the worker work in the Singapore. Next is about the only have 8 stops along the Kuala Lumpur to Singapore, 7 stops in Malaysia and 1 stop in Singapore. So when cancel this will make it difficult to go the different destination and affect the economy in Malaysia. Next.
Hello, my name is Chiu Jin Lee and my metric number is AP180149. So in this section about the alternative of this HSR project, okay, as mentioned as previously, like the due to the high maintenance cost, right? As you can see in this slide, right, there are three alternatives to reach Singapore. And if let's say the government wish to proceed this project, they actually need to invest more money on this, like building all the railway and maybe purchase the couch, you know. Okay, so move to the next slide, please. So instead of proceeding this new project, the government actually can do some upgrade on the existing infrastructure, because actually there are two ways to travel to Singapore, which is the Malaysian, they can actually use the KTM service, which called ETS, to reach to the Woodlane station at Singapore, and the other option is the North-South Expressway. So as you can see, right, in this diagram, right, for the cost of HSR, the investment required is around 60 billion to 7 billion ringgit. And for, if let's say the government want to upgrade the rail network, right, I mean the railway, so it only costs like 20 billion or less than that amount. And then although that the HSR project are able to travel faster than the existing rail, the KTM service, right, but then compared with the cost, it's not necessary to invest the extra funds on the new project, as there's no totally big difference on the traveling time. And then, and also, as you can see on the previous slide, right, actually the direction actually is the same. They travel from the KL to the Singapore. So it's actually like in HSR, the railway is actually just duplicated. Like as mentioned at the last part of the HSR is the duplication of existing railway infrastructure. So in this case, right, actually government can collaborate with the private sector in order to like maintaining the upgrading the the ETS service, and then maybe like maybe purchase the new couch, right? Like what they did on the ETS, which travel from KL to the Thailand. Yeah, that's all from me. Moving on to the next presenter, please.
All right. My name is Tan Jun Hao, and I would like to conclude for our this assignment. So in conclusion, the collaboration between Kuala Lumpur and Singapore for the HSS project are planned to benefit most of the Malaysia and Singapore in terms of time traveling, economy, and environment situation. And for the HSS project, it is able to reduce the duration of the traveling back and forth for the workers and travelers among these both countries. And this project is able to encourage both countries in exchanging talents and job creating, as well as generating development potential for the region along the railway routes. And the collaboration between these two countries will indirectly attract the investor interested in the investment of the properties and industrial sector. And next is the utilization of the electric power in the project. We also reduce the greenhouse gas emission. And next is the termination of the HSR project, which will give impact of positive and negative. So in January, both countries could not reach an agreement, although several modification and improvement plans are suggested. And the positive impact of the cancellation is able to save the cost of operating and building the HSR project, as the fare for the one-way fare is approximately 2 to 3 times of the bus ride, and same as the budget air travel. Next, and it is because of the requirement of the strictly condition for the high-speed railway that lead to the high cost of building. And for the cons of the cancellation of the project is it needs more time for the travel among two countries. So the government should take these pros and cons in consideration for the follow-up plan. And the last is the alternative. Instead of continuing the KL and JB HSR projects, the government should consider on upgrading the existing infrastructure for greater safety level and comfortability. Next is so for the traveling time offered by the existing KTM service, it is not as short as the HSR project, but the upgradation cost is approximately 3 times less than the cost of continuing the HSR projects. So it might be the best solution as the alternative for the HSR projects. That's all for me.